Hi everyone, it's Paola. Welcome back to my channel. Art and graphic design. I always say it. Please subscribe. Why aren't you subscribing? Click the button. Come on, let's go. I am so excited to be filming this video. One, because this is the first video I am filming with my new camera. I'm so proud of myself. Finally got a new camera. It's been a long time coming, a lot of work, a lot of saving, and I did it. So I'm really excited about it, and hopefully it looks good. It is, if you want to know, a Sony ZV-E10. So I don't know, let's see how this goes. But I'm also really excited about this video because it is branding, step by step, what I'm doing, a cafe, a coffee shop, a bakery vibe. It's a little bit different for me. It's a little bit funkier, and I did a couple of different things that I don't normally do. So let's just jump into it. The number one step is establishing the brand's voice and identity. So if working with a client, you could do something like a questionnaire, send them something, or even have, an actual meeting with them and discuss some things, but get them to answer your questions. Ask questions that really understand the intention behind the brand and what they're going for, who their audience is, what style they love, what colors they love. Just ask them all types of questions. I got this tip from a design professor back in the day, and it stuck with me. He said, even ask them, if your brand was an animal, what animal would it be? And I thought that was so interesting. So come up with some questions that you feel benefit you as the designer to ask your clients, and just move forward from there. I think that's a great way to establish the voice of the brand, and you can totally figure out visuals and work with them side by side with your client. Now, if you're just making this and it's just a project, like for me, this is just a project that I made up, then at least come up with that yourself. Answer those questions yourself and just establish what you want and what you want the style and vibe to be in a cohesive way, right? So if you're making it up, you have to make it cohesive. You can't just do every single idea you have for a bunch of different things and then try to make it into one brand. So try to stay with a project brief, So that's my tip for clients versus non-clients. So the next step, get into designing. If you're working with a client, you usually go through a few rounds of design. You come up with a few different logo options. But if you're making it for yourself, still start with making a few different options. Start kind of broad and then really narrow it down. That's what works for me. If I'm not sure where it's going, I just kind of throw everything at it at first. And sometimes they make things that look really ugly, and that's okay. But that's part of the process for me. So for this cafe, we decided to go with the name Acres Cafe and Bakery, and I thought it was really cute, and so I wanted to do something fairly cutesy and kind of funky for this one. I wanted it to bring out the feeling of modern, but with an 80s design style and twist. So I had a lot of influence that I wanted to work with this one, so that's kind of what I did. So I feel like it came across. Hopefully, as this project goes on, that comes across, and that was kind of my brand vision. So I definitely did a lot of different logo designs at first that were very different and kind of mishmashed, is that a word? And ended up somewhere pretty cool. Just started working with typefaces and then customizing it and then changing up things and then going back to the original thought I had. So again, this, if you're working with a client, is going to be the ideation phase. You're coming up with ideas, and I would come up with a few strong ideas to send to your client. So once you narrow it down to a strong logo, you can come up with the variations of the logo, alternatives, and I kind of came up with a lot for this one. I don't know how it ended up happening, but I loved them all, and so I felt like there was a place for all of them in this project just because it was kind of a fun experimental project. The next step, once you establish your logo and your variations of your logo, is to start making a color palette or adding color to your logo designs. So I definitely recommend working in black and white at the beginning. You do not want to stress yourself out with color at first or let it influence your design in any way. So definitely just go with black and white and then figure out your color palette after. Okay, so now that that's all established, typically you would also establish font choices where that's going to be used around the brand, but that entire process is branding. That's what I would do with a client branding package priced a certain way and that would be it. So like logo variation, color choices, fonts. And that's branding. I mean, that is how you start and create a brand. Other things like the marketing for a brand, packaging, posters, other things, that would be extra and that would be different. But for a project like this, creating an entire brand, it's not for a client, it's for my portfolio, it's for fun, it's for this video. It's great, I love it. So that's just creating an entire brand, and that can be something that you do with a client as well, but it would be like extra stuff. So let's just move on to now creating an entire brand, because we're not really working with a real client. This is how it goes. So I got to work on posters. I wanted to make a few different like marketing posters, and this was really where my 80s design influence idea came in, and I just started playing around with how the posters looked and the type choices and just having fun with what this brand could become. So I started making the posters and I collected a lot of images beforehand, copyright-free images, just looking around the internet, and I can link below where I have looked and found stuff. And yeah, I just found like cool photos and cut out cups and drinks and started making this cafe, coffee shop, bakery vibe. And to add to that, I wanted to do some illustration. So I actually have been illustrating and practicing a bit on Procreate on my iPad, and I did have this drawing of a croissant, and I have a lot of little drawings of things. I've been taking like photos off Pinterest and just kind of like trace drawing, which it's not really anything. I mean, they're just like pictures of cup, pictures of croissant, pictures of cake, and I'm like, cool. So I just like draw over them and kind of make them a little bit my own and make them illustrative. And so that's what I've been practicing. And so I did that and I worked on it and I put it in the posters. So then I put those posters into a mock-up as well, and I love the way it looks. Another thing I did was using mock-ups because I'm really creating this brand, like I'm ready for the final results. So I made a pattern and I added it to a packaging design for bags and stuff. So working with my illustrations was definitely different for me. I usually never illustrate, so that was kind of a challenge, but I actually really loved it and I loved making patterns out of what I did. Then it was time to kind of put the whole brand together once all of those elements were done, and I'm going to create a version of this that is a little bit more put together for Behance. I want it to be all of the imagery and kind of layered and all of the assets, and so I'm going to do that as well. But then I also made the Instagram photos, right? So I made a file to just bring in all my images that I collected so you could see them, and I added some of the logos and I made a pattern, and I just kind of added in the essence of the brand that I will also create on Behance, or to upload to Behance, I guess, and be part of my portfolio. So I kind of make a social media version and then my portfolio version of these finalized images. So this is just the collection of what it looks like and what the brand essence and vibe and whole thing is gonna be. I really love it and I hope you guys love it too. This was all around just a kind of put together step-by-step what I do, and I hope you enjoyed that kind of format. So that's the entire brand. I'm also going to make the Behance version. Maybe it's in this video. If it is, Paola, put it in right here. And if you're working with a client and you know your entire brand's done and you've helped them with a lot of things, which you know, images, all of that, that could be part of what you're doing with the client. It really depends on your level of involvement, right? So if you have created the whole brand, or at least if you did the brand identity, like logo and everything, maybe even bring in some of their images or things that they have, assets from the brand, or just images you've collected to showcase your work to them. Send them a brand guide, show it to them, show it beautifully the way I'm doing it in like Instagram and Behance. Do it in your own way as well. Share it with your clients and do it for yourself as well if you're doing that. So that's my advice. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this branding video, and I really enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you liked it. It really helps my channel. Please comment down below. It really helps my channel. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.